So another current event, just hilarious. She came down to Detroit, Michigan, downtown Detroit, Michigan, to the One Mic, which is supposed to be Mike Epps Club or sponsored by Mike Epps, or he's the owner or what have you.
Really?
But it's like he has other owners in place. I don't know if it's by his choice or he's the owner of the building and they hire who they want to hire. But long story short, Just Hilarious was treated fairly. She felt like her fans were treated unfairly. She came down to do a show. She has a certain set price that they're going to charge for a show, but she does meet and greet on the side for her fans. That's her money. So she felt like the owners and other people were involving themselves in her part of the share, which is she charged a certain price. They were trying to make money off the price she charged by charging a few dollars more to what she already came up with. So she said it's very bad business. This is why people are not buying the meet and greet tickets. It's because you guys are upping the price. So at first she didn't know that. She's in a club like, what's going on here? Why no one is buying these tickets to only find out? They was making money on the side, baby. It was a whole scandal. It was
scandal.
A hoodwink. She was bamboozled. And so was her fans. And she was not okay with that.
Janky promotion.
Definitely janky promoters. She was very upset about that.
So let's get a little clarity if we can.
Okay.
What exactly, if you know, allegedly, what exactly was being charged based off what we heard as far as the news go on social media? What was being overcharged? Was it the door? Was it side money on the door? Was it the drinks?
Well, I think they overcharged with the drinks, period. I mean, I don't understand that drink price. I don't. I think it's like different tickets, and one ticket that you can buy includes a meet and greet. So she felt like she has a fair, reasonable price that her fans can afford for a meet and greet. But when I say 50 and you tell them 70 or 80, come on. Now your fans like, well, I can't afford that $80 for the ticket. I mean, if she would have went down a little bit, it looks like Just Hilarious is trying to, what would you call it?
Charge a certain amount that people don't feel they should be paying at the time.
It had nothing to do with her though.
So,
it had to do with the promotion.
Okay. I know me personally, I've never been a part of any promotion or anything like that where tickets were charged, other than one time I did a little show. But as far as professionally, so I don't know how that works and who is in charge of what and how the prices are set. But yeah, it sounds like some management / something is going wrong.
She said that she were approached by numerous different people that were not in on a promotion or the deals that were made. She said some security, first he was the owner and then he was the security and then he said he was a cop, and they were trying to shut down her whole meet and greet. And her husband, I believe, I don't know if they're married yet, but he stopped him like, hold on, you're walking up on my girl, because he claimed to all of a sudden be an officer and he was just going to put her out the club. So she was just like, never again.
Wow.
And shout out to the Punchline, because she said she did a show at the Punchline, which I believe is in Southfield, Michigan, and she said they do great business and she should have went back there.
Got it. So basically it was a bad business management situation, or whoever was running the club at the time didn't do that much of a professional job, I guess, is what she was getting at. And she was unhappy with it. And it happens, you know, we are where we are, and it's different states, it's different areas where people do things differently, and communication, which is key all the time, can fail. That's just an unfortunate situation. We glad that she said she went to Punchline. She had a better outcome with
No, she said she did a show at Punchline before, and she wished she would have took her show back to there because she got treated the right way. The deals were better. You know, she got what she needed to get done. You know, this is her job. So One Mic, she didn't accomplish that with them. A lot of people had their hands in a lot of different things that she didn't even talk to, sit down with. She never really figured out who is the owner, the manager. It was so many people involved, and they were overpricing everything, the drinks and everything.
Understood. I mean, it happens. Yeah. It happens. Unfortunately.
Bad business.
Just a bad business situation.
Janky promoters.
Bad communication. But glad it didn't go no further than that. Just an experience, and then you can move on, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just move on. So it's another hot topic going on circling around that internet allegations, relationships. Let's get back on that. So we talking about Papoose, Remy Ma, and
Claressa Shields.
Claressa Shields. Okay. So if y'all been following hip hop, y'all been around. Of course, the younger generation might not know, but if you do know, Papoose been around for a long time. Well-known guy as far as hip hop rap. So is Remy Ma. If you know Remy Ma, her background, her music, Lean Back, her hanging with Fat Joe, things like that. You know what I'm talking about. If not, just go do your research. And then Claressa Shields, you already know she's a boxer. From my point of view, from what I know, I haven't known her as long as I've known and seen them, but she's been famous for a while now as far as being a great boxer. If you don't know who she is. I mean, she's knocking women out left and right in the ring.
Right.
Feel me? So the whole backstory behind that so far is what I'm getting. I haven't dwelled into the drama like I need to, but I do know that Remy Ma basically was seen and caught with, I don't know if he was a friend or he was somebody that Papoose knew, but they had some type of connection is what they saying. Yeah. And Remy Ma was with that guy who is a freestyle battle type person. And I don't know if Papoose put together battles and freestyles, but I know at one point Remy Ma was trying to do that, and that was like her dude at the time. So anyway, you know, Papoose and Remy Ma was married. Remy Ma went to prison. Papoose supposedly held her down through her sentence. They stayed together. She came out. It's supposed to be one big happy family that everybody knew about. So anyway, it started circling around the internet that Remy Ma was talking to a guy that Papoose knew. Everybody was laughing in Papoose face at one point, talking junk on the internet and everything like that. As far as just embarrassing, and it kind of made Remy Ma look kind of bad, and she kind of like tried to shy away from that. So fast forward, and all of a sudden, Claressa Shields and Papoose are in a relationship. It was, I guess, a silent relationship for a while, but now cat's out the bag. And some words was said in between Remy Ma and Claressa Shields on the internet. I believe Instagram, or it could have been Twitter, but some words was said, and basically Claressa was coming from a standpoint of, look, I've been with Papoose. We was good when nobody knew nothing. Now everybody want to clout chase. Everybody want to talk about it. And she basically saying to Remy Ma, like, look, we good, but you can come hang with us in certain events. I don't have a problem with you. It was never that serious for me, but me and Papoose is straight. We doing this. We've been doing this. You ain't gonna stop nothing. All that's just talk. And as far as Remy Ma's standpoint, I didn't really get to see exactly what Remy Ma was saying, but it did seem like she kind of felt some type of way about it. You know, like she was voicing her opinion, and she is getting a little bit irritated by some of the comments that's being made as far as the situation. Based on that situation, what you think? I know, you know Remy Ma, you know her past. You know what she been through. You know, she had to get out, get back on her feet. I know you know a little bit about Papoose, right? And you know Claressa Shields. So based off that, yeah, what you think about the whole situation as far as in general?
You know what? I mean, it's funny you say about the Remy Ma. I didn't really hear her engaging. I don't know if I just missed Remy Ma comments, but I kept seeing Claressa, baby. She just kept on parading that Papoose. Like, I felt like every chance she gets, she made a rap song about it. Like, she did a dance about it. Like, she did a boxing move about it. Like, she was claiming that man, y'all. Like, I mean, like it was the best man she ever had. So I'm like, oh, Papoose must still got it. I'm thinking he older, she younger. You know, I like Remy Ma though. I like them both. I mean, I love a good boxer, and Remy Ma, good artist, and I'm more familiar with Remy Ma like just growing up. I'm familiar with her presence more about her than I do Claressa Shields, other than her being a boxer. But it's kind of weird because, you know, you see that couple and it's like, you're used to this couple, and then they get somebody new and it's like, who is that? What's this about? So I'm cool with it either way. Whatever makes them happy, whatever floats their boat. What I did hear is Remy Ma got hands too now. So I was hearing that she felt like Claressa don't want it with her. But I don't know. Who you think will win that?
Well, we just gonna keep it 100. First of all, let me just say my humble opinion. My humble opinion. I like Remy Ma. I think Remy Ma is a very beautiful lady. In this industry, we don't have enough. Well, we starting to get there. Where we have that chocolate female. We starting to get more of that. And I just think Remy Ma is just a very beautiful lady. Like, she just got certain features about her that's just like, you know, just beautiful. You know
okay, I get it.
Not to take nothing from anybody else, but as far as the actual fight, like you talking boxing, like you talk one-on-one real fighting.
She said she used to box too, I heard.
Yeah, but
so to speak.
Yeah, but used to box and boxing is two different things. I like the stamina you gotta have, the dogmatic attitude you gotta have, they train them a certain type of way. Like Claressa just got the skills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She cut up.
Undeniable.
She got the body. You know, she a different type of dog when it comes to certain things. You know what I'm saying? And she's trained to be that way professionally. You know what I'm saying? In that ring. So you talking about a real fight. I hate to be biased, but I'm gonna just have to give it to the athlete because she's an athlete. You know what I'm saying? It just is. It is
what it is.
It is what it is. Like, I think Remy Ma can hold her own, but she would have to probably get into that athlete mode. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. But to bring up what you brought up, that is what Remy Ma said. Remy Ma made a post about age, and she was like, basically, she just broke it down. Like, look, you talking to me about a guy that is this age, you this age, he got kids that's this age, and we got a so-called kid that's this age, and we've been together since this age.
Right.
So she basically put all the ages out there. That was her way of saying, like, you know, whatever she was trying to say. She OG. That's all she was trying to say. And you got to respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's an age difference, but I don't want to see no fight like that. And much respect to Remy Ma, too, because we know what she did in her past, and she had to do what she had to do in that moment. But we don't want to see that. We want to see both of them thrive, right?
Yeah,
as black women.
Absolutely. I don't think that we should encourage turning them into, you know, against each other, I should say.
Absolutely.
Then there's kids involved. So no, absolutely not.
Right. And when you got kids involved, we got to think for the kids too.
Yeah,
so
be more mature.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is tea for us, right?
Definitely tea.
Something to talk about.
Definitely. So I do feel like Pep, he tends to like very aggressive or dominant, maybe even assertive women. He comes off very laid back to me. You know what I do like though? I just cut it off because I may not, I don't want to say the wrong thing. But what I do like about Claressa Shields in a world where boxing is a very dominant sport and that she's able to show her femininity and that where she put her heels on, her makeup, her dresses, and she embraced that in a dynamic where it's like she got to be tough all the time. She separated her job from her personal life. And I do like that about her.
And I think that's cool too. She probably actually a sweet person because sometimes females do get a bad rap when they're super aggressive or they come off like they are super dominant, and sometimes people look at that as like, they just get a bad rep sometimes when they like that. But I do think that Remy Ma, and maybe because she's older too, and it might be because Claressa is an athlete, but I think Remy Ma is a little bit more, like I see her softer side too.
Because she's a rapper, and that's another thing about women being rappers, just like women being fighters. It's like this aggression you're just supposed to have. So we've seen Remy Ma aggression, so it's like to see them in their feminine side that is more
softer.
Softer side. Yeah, it's like cool. You can still embrace that and don't always have to be like, so what's the word? Dominant about it, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I think because rap is so competitive that it's more of a competitive thing, and sometimes competitive can come off as aggression, right? Because that's what it is, I guess.
That's exactly what you have to be.
Yeah,
to compete.
But when you sit down and you get to see like the interviews or you get to see them talking, you kind of get to see a side of them that's like, okay, this person probably is a nice person, a sweeter type person, but because of the music, they have to put on a persona. It's like same thing with the men. They got to put on a persona, be more aggressive and things like that. But it's like you said, it's harder for women because they get judged harder. Like you get judged harder.
That's what I mean when I think about him and his character, what he shows of himself now behind closed doors. I don't know. He may be very, very dominant. I take him as dominant, but in a more quieter factor. But maybe because he might express himself more loudly behind closed doors. His women tend to be a little more blunt or outgoing than he is, if you notice.
That's facts. He definitely come off as chill. But I will say this. Claressa Shields put out there that basically she done caught so many bags messing with him.
What does that mean?
Well, from my understanding, money. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as bookings or whatever it is that he do, I don't know what all he do. I don't know if he's a manager or he's into management. I don't know what all he does.
How to shoot the moves.
Exactly. But she said he wasn't her manager. This is what she said online. This is what was on her social media. I don't know if it's from her, but it was on there. That he's not her manager, but she said she was able to catch a lot of bags with him as far as, I guess, bookings and cash that she, I guess, gets from making appearances or whatever it is she do on the side or they do together. She's able to profit in some type of way. So even though he's a quiet man, he must probably got his business intact. And every woman want a man with their business intact, right?
Oh, for sure. That's as good as you could be. You don't even have to open your mouth at all. As long as you got, what I'm saying? They're providing that security thing going. And I can see that's probably why she was dancing, making music about him and everything. She like, you can't have him back. She was going to make sure Remy didn't get him back.
I guess she in love with the boss. Remy did get on the line also and show her diamonds. She's just trying to show people like, I got the bag regardless. You know what I'm saying? I don't need nobody. Sure. So that's what type of time she on. So kudos to her too.
When it was your man at the end of the day. But I mean, apparently from the allegations, she didn't want him no more. So hey, another man's trash is another man's treasure. Ain't that what they say? So it is what it is.
It is what it is. So now let's get into some more tea. Now this tea is not the good tea, y'all. It's kind of like the bad tea, but it's the bad tea that went good. Once again, another rap scenario and a scenario with a rapper who basically ended up getting shot but survived. So him getting shot and then surviving, I would count that as a blessing, right?
Yeah, that's what's up.
But however, what ended up happening, from my understanding, was that they were in the city in which they came from, which is the city of Detroit, right? And within that city, I don't know where they were going, what they were doing. This is all allegations, right? Things we read on the internet, how we get the tea. And his vehicle was shot at. I guess the vehicle he was in, they said it was a targeted shooting. They said it was about 20-something shell casings, all right, that the officers picked up, found, and was able to accumulate from this scene. However, the person who was getting shot at, even though they got shot at a lot, they only got, I think, hit twice or something like that. And not only did they get hit twice, they actually showed up to a concert 2 days later from a famous Detroit rapper, 42 Doug concert, with his arm in a cast, but standing, rapping, walking, talking, and still in one piece as far as his body. You know what I'm saying? So that's different. Now, I did want to point out, I didn't know nothing about the shooting until I seen his arm in the cast, and I eventually Googled it, and I'm like, whoa.
All right, what's going on here?
Exactly, because unfortunately, we live in a time today where I don't know if the streets getting into rap or if the rappers getting to the streets or what's going on, but these rappers is getting shot at. So as soon as you see a rapper, whether they're in a wheelchair, in a cast, walking funny, you automatically assume this rapper probably got shot. Based on that information, how do you feel or what do you think about rappers getting shot, not just shot at, but getting shot in places that they're from? Because Skilla Baby is from Detroit. Is it a matter of should the rapper move out of Detroit? Should the rapper move a certain type of way? Stay out of certain areas? I don't know. Like, first of all, glad to hear that Skilla Baby is okay, of course, because nobody wants to see anybody completely hurt from any type of shooting. But, what you think as far as that go?
Well, I'm a firm believer in any type of business that you do, you need to secure that, I should say. And when I say that, whether it be the places you go, the things that you say, the things that you might do, it's very important to keep a business mindset and to keep your money flowing the way that you need it to flow, I guess with that being said, I do think that maybe certain things should be in place. Maybe he shouldn't be in certain areas. Maybe he shouldn't be riding by himself. Now, I don't know his intentions or what the case may be where he feel like I'm from this hood and I'm good, or I'm from Detroit and I'm good. That might not always be the case because you're not the person that you used to be before the fame. Well, you might be that person, but others don't look at you that way, So I think you just need to protect your goal. And also, I'm wondering, could he afford, because I heard a couple people saying, like, why you don't have security and why he just, out here like this. Although I don't know the story, I heard a couple of stories, but I'm like, who knows if he can afford all those things that come with that lifestyle, There's a lot of people that need to be paid, including yourself. So I don't know if it's a budget thing or what, but.
Well, I'm not sure. It could be multiple things. It could be, like you said, it could be a budget thing, or it could be wanting to be alone thing. It could be I'm from here, so I'm good. It's not even about being from here, because you can go to somewhere you never been and be in danger, But at the end of the day, if you do have that type of cash and you can't afford security, that'll work. But let's just be real. In a case like this, where somebody supposedly shot 20 times, security might not have mattered in that case. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny. It's just like one of them things where they said a person just pulled up on the side and just got the going. So in those cases, you hear them cases all the time. Sometimes having a security guard won't save your life. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a, if you out and a fan run up on you, of course you want to have security. You know what I'm saying? But you riding down the street just on some regular degular and you get fired at.
I mean, a situation like that doesn't sound like a regular degular, though. That seemed intentional. Like something happened prior to this. I think everybody want to know what's the real story, because, who just pulls up and shoots 20 times? So it's like, what's really going on? The world may want to know.
Who knows what it was? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Sure. Whatever it was, I hope it gets handled and stuff, because nobody want to see another rapper fall from grace when they make it to a certain level, because people have fans, So I do hope it gets settled and handled, and just thankfully he didn't pass in a situation. But it's like the Nipsey Hussle thing. Sometimes people want to have their friends and family around as protection. And Nipsey Hussle was right in front of one of the stores him and his, I guess, brother owned at the time. He was around people he knew his whole life, and he felt like he was safe. And unfortunately, it was that one person who felt some type of way at the time who took his life. Because not only are certain people sometimes feeling some type of way, it's just when you reach a certain amount of success and they haven't, it just makes them even madder. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you do certain things and you might not be trying to even offend that person, sometimes they could just get jealous and act out of jealousy. So not saying that's the only reason why Nipsey not here or only reason why rappers do get shot, but it's a common thing nowadays that rappers get shot, and it's also a common thing that rappers get shot in their own city in which they are from.
Because that's where you feel like you're at home, That's like being in a house and your brother, your sister, that same mom and dad shoots you, like, even though he doesn't know everybody that's from that city, I'm sure, like each individual, but it's the fact that you feel like this is home everywhere you go.
It is, and you should, and I feel like everybody should be able to come home and lay their head, but at the same time, you just don't know what people have been through and what's been going on, and it's a lot to people's stories sometimes. And unfortunately, we just live in a world where everything ain't good, everything ain't sweet. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't sweet, just is what it is.
But if you can't come up with an answer, it's a publicity stunt. Sorry. Publicity stunts happen so many times where people use that as a push.
I know he did get online and he said a prayer online where he basically prayed about his enemies. He prayed about a lot of stuff, almost like you would think that basically he knew something was coming in his spirit, probably, because he really did have like a heart-to-heart prayer online where he was just talking about God protect him from things, and just kind of like, just I guess his way of releasing everything probably he'd been through. I don't know, but he did that, and that was probably like a day or so before he actually got shot at. So it was kind of interesting to see that. Like, it was just really real deep, like eyes closed, everything. So I don't know. It's just interesting that happened to him in that way.
For sure. That's sad.
It is. But keep God first if that's what you believe in. Absolutely. For sure. So to piggyback on how it affects a person's career. Yeah. Getting shot at, I think if you are a rapper and you are a rapper of a certain caliber and you rapping about certain things, yes, when you survive a shooting, it does bring more attention to you and more attention to your music. So I think that when people get shot and they survive and they able to walk and talk, people do want want to see that, and it makes you more popular. Just like the Yo Gotti thing when his brother got killed and he showed up to the 42 Doug concert, same type of situation the next day or a couple days later, and everybody was like, his brother just got killed. So while everybody's talking about that, it's a great time for them to pop out, because all eyes on them, people watching, the people don't want to see you broken, you know what I'm saying? So when you got real diehard fans and something like that happen to you, sometimes it is better to pop out and keep it rolling while it looked like you taking an L. Because now it's like, no, I'm gonna show y'all I'm not taking no L's. I'm still here. Things like that. So I think that's why people pop out and they use that negativity to their advantage.
To turn it into a success story that people, pay attention to.
And people love you more. So like when Tupac got shot and he came back out and he was still strong and still was Tupac, people love that. That made the people love him more, and it made people know him even more. So the people that didn't know Skilla Baby, because of that happened, more people was gonna know Skilla Baby.
Yeah.
So more fans.
For sure. So I love Tyler Perry shows. If anybody know me knows, I rock with Tyler Perry Studios. He do his thing every time. I can always relate to just about mostly all his content. I can typically in one way relate to a character or something in his content. However, they got She's the People out with Lavita. She used to be in the Steve Harvey show and her name was Lavita on there, and Cedric the Entertainer was her boyfriend. Look, I don't even know her real name. I'm so used to calling her Lavita.
I used to love that show. And by the way,
Steve Harvey show?
I used to love that show.
Yeah.
By the way, the new show you said on Netflix, right?
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's a cool show. It's centered around. It's a comedy. It's got my man's in there from Chicago, the comedian. I think he called himself Mojo. I don't want to say his name wrong because he was using another name at first, and he switched his name. But you gotta just check it out. He's in there. I think he's a real funny guy. He gave a shout out to Detroit, Michigan when he came and said he really enjoyed it. He really felt the love and the vibe. But anyway, yeah, She's the People is like a comedy. It's like a politicians or politics, and she's an African American, and she's trying to, make a difference. She's educated. She's well qualified for the job, and she's in there with what some people might call the good old boys,
Okay.
And they're like, you just sit and be quiet because the governor don't want his spot taken. Basically, because if something happened to him, she would be up next for his position. So he's trying to keep her doing the most frivolous jobs as possible. And she looking like, I didn't go to school for all these things, not to be, what I went to school for, my talent or my degree. Her kids are funny. The daughter is something else. She's just like giving her mom a hard time. She's 16. I didn't catch the son age, but he's like the nerd, so to speak. And then she got her mama involved, which her mom is that like old-fashioned mom, go get that switch off the tree. You're going to get your butt whooped. She encouraging her daughter to whoop her daughter because that's how she raised her.
Okay. So it sounds like to me that this show is different from what Tyler Perry is used to putting out, because a lot of Tyler Perry shows, movies, and old school plays, well, he did have a lot of comedies back then. He did have a lot of comedies, but he had a lot of dramas too, especially when it came to Hollywood. So I'm glad he kind of switching it up a little bit, giving us a different insight. I'm not a big Tyler Perry follower, so no, I don't know all of his stuff. Okay. But this is different from what I'm used to seeing as far as the drama and the, that stuff that make you cry, the black drama, that he usually put out. So I'm glad it's something different for the viewers to watch. Definitely want to check it out. It definitely sounds like it's a cool show, family oriented show, kind of like the old shows we used to get back in the day.
Matter of fact, the mother is the mother on the Family Matters. Do you remember the Family Matters?
Second mom.
No.
They had two moms, so it was the first mom.
I think that was the Fresh Prince that had the two moms. The Family Matters is the one with Steve Urkel.
Okay.
They had two moms in it. No, Harriet. Remember, we might be confusing that with the Fresh Prince, I think. But if you remember Steve Urkel in the Family Matters, you had Carl was a police officer and Harriet was his wife. And then her sister lived in the house with them with the son.
So Harriet is the mom.
That plays Lavita mom. Yep, so that's pretty cool.
So it's cool to see Harriet again. What I did realize about Netflix is a lot of people that was in old school movies and plays and shows is popping out on Netflix. So shout out to Netflix, because we want to see some of them actors and actresses that we used to see back then that was killing the game. So shout out to that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's the shout out to Tyler Perry, because that's what he do. He bring you guys back that's been in hiding and feeling like you're not getting no shows and pay good money. I'm going to have to pull up to the studio. The studio is in Georgia, ain't it?
Shout out to Tyler Perry. Shout out to Tyler Perry.
I'm going to pull up and give me a roll.
Perry looking out for the people now.
He does. And everybody who works with his crew says they get paid, good. So that's a blessing.
That is.
They deserve it.
Because a lot of people not getting paid like they should. I know.
They get their money's worth,
Not just there, anywhere, really. Everywhere.
Yeah. For sure. I said, I need to pull up to the studio. You can find me a spot, a waitress or something in one of your upcoming movies. Oh, he coming out with another movie. Another Netflix series movie with Taraji Henson too. God, what was that one called?
I think it's called Straw or something.
Straw. The straw that broke the camel's back, basically. That's a saying. Yeah. So it's called Straw. That's gonna be good.
Definitely gonna check that out. I think that's June 6th.
Yeah,
promotion real quick. June 6th.
Right. promote stage.
We gonna sit back and watch Netflix.
I'm gonna have to call him like, we promote your shows.
Okay, send us a little something.
Okay,
so we can get out the backyard.
Let's go.
Get us out the backyard, Tyler.
Come on, let's go, Tyler. We rock with you.
All right, so you guys, we're gonna wrap it up. This was the Memorial Day backyard edition. It's gonna be a couple days late because we had to do a reshoot because we had some technical difficulties. But it's coming, y'all. We glad y'all checked us out. You glad y'all stayed. Make sure y'all remember to like, y'all comment, y'all subscribe. We need y'all to get the latest and the greatest updates from the IIC podcast. And the more you watch, the more you share, the more we gonna get y'all.
Let's go.
See you next time.
Next time.